Hello, my name is Dr. Maya Byfield. My business is The Phenomenal STEMist. I'm so excited to be here in Orange County because it's where I live. I live in Apopka, Florida. And I decided to make this business because I saw a need for underrepresented students to be successful in STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, math. And the best way I can do that is just provide products for parents to prepare them, whether it's a book or online STEM camps or just video podcasting. My goal is to transform this community, especially those who are underrepresented. And the way to do that is to help parents understand their children's minds and basically develop them at different stages of their lives to be prepared for a successful STEM career. Thank you so much. That's why I'm here.
Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Hello,
It's,
hello, hello.
yeah, Dr. Uohna. Listen, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you are willing to come on with me for the remaining portion of the quarter. Every third Monday. It's third Monday, y'all. We're talking about
Tech,
technology.
tech, tech,
Yeah,
tech. It's all about tech.
technology Monday. Technology in the context of wealth. Technology is phenomenal financial freedom.
That's right.
And I think technology is one of the major resources that play a role in wealth building. And our community really needs to catch up. We need to catch up on these
Yeah,
skills because it's the future is the present. It's
it's
everything.
everything.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, no problem. I enjoy talking about this stuff. You know that. And of course, I support everything that you're doing because I'm in awe of it. And, I it kind of leaves the rest of us feeling like, okay, the least we can do is support you if we're not doing the same thing.
Appreciate it. Appreciate you're doing your own thing too. You're doing some big things on TikTok and all the social media
Yeah,
platforms.
we
Like you
trying,
are,
we trying, we trying
yeah,
to reach these young people somehow.
absolutely. So we're gonna get right into it because it's late, and I wanted to talk about. I saw this article that I sent you, the highest paying tech jobs of 2023. Highest paying jobs. I just want to talk about how most of these jobs $150,000, $140,000. All of them are almost a hundred six-figure
Six figures,
jobs.
six figures,
Not
and
to
that
say
that
six figures are doing anything now. It's crazy how
right.
six figures don't
That's
mean
the
nothing.
thing, and those are averages, right? So
Yeah.
that's the average earning. And so that means there are people who are making less, and then there are people who are making significantly more. And I can tell you, if you go on LinkedIn or any of Google Jobs platforms now, where the shift has been to be this to be more transparent as far as salary is concerned, companies are obligated to do that. So they're now having to disclose information about the jobs, about how much it's paying, what the compensation is, and a lot of these jobs are 200, $300,000 a year, and that's not even the full compensation package, right? That's the salary. Then there's bonus, and then there's stock options, and I mean, there are software engineers, data scientists earning $500,000, and it's nothing.
Yeah, it's time that we catch up.
Yeah,
Y'all hear me? Yeah, we got to get the skill set. Let's get this skill set going, okay? And it really doesn't require the plethora of years of colleges that many times in the past making a $500,000 required. Okay, so let's let's talk about it. Let's talk about the top 10 highest paying jobs. This is according to bestcolleges.com. Top 10 highest paying technology jobs in 2023. I'm gonna read them out, but then I also want to just talk to you about like what the differences in some of them are. So there's a DevOps engineer. That's the highest one. Then there's the product manager. Then there's the computer and information research scientist. Then there's the software developer, and then the computer network architect, and the artificial intelligence architect, information security analyst, analyst, excuse me, a mobile app developer. That's when they start making a little less than 100,000 um on average, like you said.
Yeah.
Data scientist and full stack web developer. So I need to know like what these jobs are. So what is a DevOps engineer? Like what does DevOps stand for even? Like
Development operations engineer.
a development operations engineer. What does a I don't what is that?
So what they're implying is that you are a generalist, as the article says. So you are an engineer involved in the development of a product, an application, the software, you know, application. But as the DevOps engineer, you kind of handle, you're kind of a jack of all trades. You cover everything. So from the coding and the software technology, as well as managing the team. So you know everything from the data all the way to the launching of the product. Is you kind of oversee that. So that's why these people make the big bucks.
Listen to me. If you have a child, you hear me? Listen, if you have a child and you don't teach your child how to code, you're
Yep.
doing them a disservice.
Yeah.
I know I don't have any children. I know.
Right. Neither do I.
Like, oh, who do you?
But
How
the
you
thing
know,
is, like
Maya?
now, one of the things that one of my unofficial mentors, Andrew Ng, he's like the godfather of machine learning. He said that machine learning has now become what reading and writing used to be a few hundred years ago, where reading and writing was relegated to the select few in our society, mostly like the priests and the rulers, the religious rulers, and then the very wealthy. They were the
Right.
only ones who knew how to read. And eventually, over time, we gained access to that reading and writing. And then, of course, as descendants of slaves, that came,
Even later.
yeah, exactly. But it's the same thing now. The coding, the programming, the machine learning, the data science is in the hands of the very select few. In this case, it's the big companies, the big tech companies, and now they are the conglomerates, right? Because they control the code. But there's nothing preventing us from learning.
It it's open access. We just have to
This
decide.
this list of courses, right? It starts of not top, the jobs, the highest 10 highest paying tech jobs. Starts off with DevOps engineer. And so in preparation for this talk tonight, I just decided to randomly Google DevOps engineering training courses free.
Wow.
And I know that there's so many free courses, but even I was blown away. Okay.
Wow.
Because when I went to the site, AWS has DevOps training. And if people don't understand the significance of that, okay, let me just break that down.
Okay, just to let you know, AWS
It's Amazon,
is Amazon's company. Yeah, go ahead.
and they 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 own the stuff. They own the stuff, okay? They own the stuff.
All that
They
stuff.
own cloud management. They own cloud,
They
and
own
that's
it.
like, just computer resources on the internet. They control probably 70% of the market. Everybody else is scrambling to divide up the remaining 30% among themselves, including Google and Microsoft and all the others.
Yeah.
Amazon owns that. AWS is their thing, and they're offering free training course because that's how desperate they are for people with the skill set.
Yes. That's how desperate they are for people with the skill set.
They have a free DevOps training course. Um, Microsoft has one, Google has one, and then I found some other sites that I were not too much familiar with, but they also offer a full length free DevOps training course. Udemy is another platform. Theirs it's $10, right? Oh, you got to pay $10, but it's a little bit the setup. Each platform is different in terms of how the material is presented, so you can try out and see which one suits your style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but but there's no excuse, right? And even if you don't want to do any of those, you put DevOps in YouTube, and
Right. And it's
thousands of videos will come up.
videos. You hear me, guys? Listen, 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 listen. $149,410 a year on average.
Average.
On average, this is what this person makes, and you can learn the skill set for free online by listen, listen. What I want before we move on to the next one?
Sure.
What is the reason why people don't do this?
Well, a number of reasons. When you say tech, people hear math, and that's like
Yeah,
the biggest, scariest thing, right?
yeah,
And unfortunately, when we were growing up, our math teacher didn't look like us, like you and me. So there was already that block, that hindrance, whether it's mental or emotional or whatever the
yep,
issues is, and so those things persist, and so people tend to either think that it's not for them, like they can't do it, they don't have the capacity,
yep.
or they think that it's too hard and it's going to take too much out of them to pursue that, when that is absolutely not the case, right? um you know these dev up courses that are offered, a lot of them you can do a a crash course, you can do the beginner course, an introductory course, you can do the full length training, because you can become what you call, like, an intro into the DevOps engineer, but then you can pursue that and become a senior DevOps engineer or the lead DevOps engineer, and that's where you start talking about the $200,000 and $300,000 a year.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's where you start, right? And so companies, like I said, are so desperate for employees. And as Dr. Maya and I was talking on just before the call about Salesforce, which owns Tableau and some of these other platforms. They recently laid off, I think, like 10% of their employee base. But just last week, the CEO announced that they have thousands of openings
yeah.
for people with the specific skill set, and specifically in generative AI, artificial intelligence, which is one of the things on this list. So,
You see, so there's something you got to keep up with the skill set. So they'll lay you off and hire somebody else who has a new skill set.
right, and
So
that's
you
what,
so you got to be careful.
yeah, because that's what we keep saying, right? People are saying that AI is going to take your jobs, and no, someone who knows how to use AI, someone with the AI skill set, that's who's going to
Will
take
be
your job.
okay. That's who's gonna take your job.
Exactly.
You better get that skill set. You better not run away from the skill set. Product manager. What is a product manager?
So the product manager is someone who is more less on the tech side and more on the business side.
Right.
So
So
they are
that is so ultimately you're trying to create a product. So let's
correct.
say, you know, I looked at Advent is Giving. I don't know, Advent is Giving, their whole website and whole thing changed. They
Really.
obviously got with a new they made a totally
Manager product.
yeah. It's so much easier, so
Mm.
much better and more user friendly.
That's one of the main roles of the product manager, is that whole UX design or user experience design.
Right.
They specialize in that, but they have to have a little bit of tech and a little bit of business to
Business
kind
and
of
people. So
mix it in.
if you say I'm a people person, I don't like tech. No, you can be in tech as a people person
Yeah,
because the user experience is critical.
yeah,
And
and
if you
those
don't
roles
know
are what.
people, you can't get that user experience. Go ahead. I'm
Right.
sorry.
This is a whole new terminology. You know, they always have terminology. It's called
Yeah.
the tech adjacent roles.
Check tech adjacent. Tech adjacent.
Right. So you don't have to know all the programming and you don't have to know all the technology and everything, but you can have a general idea of what's going on. In fact, right now I am creating courses for Udacity that are designed specifically for these tech adjacent roles. So I'm explaining the technology to product managers and others who will, interact with the engineers and others. So they want to have, be able to understand the lingo and the, some of the terminologies, but they don't really want to get into the tech specifically. So I have to kind of do high level, broad view example, right? And so that's an option. If you don't want to get into the tech too deeply, then there are lots of tech adjacent roles. And so this is where general fluency courses, as they're called, you can take. And those are free, 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 free. Those
Free,
are more
free,
free than the tech
free.
courses.
You know what's not free time? People rather to play video games. Get your kid off the video game
Yeah.
circuit.
I
Even
don't
though
know. Yeah,
even though
that's something
video
I
games
struggle
help with
with because
hand-eye
I've been
coordination.
trying to get my nieces and nephews. Um, they're gonna kill me for sharing this, but I pay them to get online and engage and create because I know they're online anyhow.
Yeah.
So I want them to start changing, shifting their mindset about how, and they have to show me that their creation, and I reward them for it.
Well, can Auntie June? Listen, that's what I do, you know. Yes, that's an awesome way of
Yeah,
motivating.
because they don't understand the weight of this just now, and I feel like by the time they do, it'll be too late. So whatever I can do to get them engaged, because I feel like once they begin to see it and understand it, they'll,
That's
because
limit.
these boys play video games for hours. So
Mm,
I know technology is not,
right,
something that they are averse to, right?
right.
But it's just to get them to shift from the consumer to the creator. That's the shift I'm
That's the
trying to make.
shift. That's the shift that we got to get our community
Yeah,
from the consumer to the creator.
yeah.
All right, computer and information research scientist.
Right.
Computer and
So,
so this is more of the person that studies it.
well, I'm also trying to come up with new technologies in the area, just like how we did our PhD and we did research,
Yeah.
and you had to contribute some new phenomenon to the space.
Right.
That's what they do in that realm of computer science, engineering, the technology, the algorithms, all that kind of stuff.
That's the real deal. The
That's the
computer.
real deal. That's the
That's
real
real.
deal.
Like you're creating novel technologies. The
Yeah,
technologies that you're using today, there was a computer scientist, research scientist that created it
exactly.
decades
And
ago.
many people don't realize that a lot of these big tech companies have large research science divisions. I
They,
mean, Amazon again,
hmm
they have a huge research focused on robotics because Amazon don't replay this, but they trying to replace all.
it's replay. So don't say something that you want to get in trouble now. Don't
No,
get.
no, I mean they're trying to replace their factory workers with robots,
Yeah, let's be
right?
real. Let's be
It's a fact.
real.
And even the delivery and everything, they want to automate that.
Listen
So
to me. Listen to me because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I can work at, S or whatever. I can work at here for, for $18 an hour, $20." They're doing that now, but trust me, in 5 years they're going to replace you with
yeah,
robots.
absolutely. So you better learn how to control robots.
You hear me? You hear me? Like this there's so many positions that do not require hard skills
Yeah.
that will be replaced, and they're showing off now because they're getting such high pay.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting such high pay. There's like, I don't need school. I can make $20 an hour.
Yeah, but
Work.
that's not sustainable long term,
It's
right?
not sustainable long term,
That's the
guys.
thing.
Listen, it's not sustainable long term, and that's the critical piece.
Yeah, you have to think ahead long term. Otherwise, you're going to be caught off guard, and then you're going to realize, things are going to change. And a lot of people were caught off guard already with this generative AI and AI
Yeah.
because they didn't keep up, right? Because like those people who got fired or laid off, the companies always say it's not about skill set or what is performance or and
Hmm.
in general it's not, but companies are about making money.
Yeah. And
So
hiring people with the skill set to make them more
exactly.
money.
Bottom line,
Yeah. 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 So get the skill set, guys.
get the
Get
skill
the skill
set, get
sets
the
of the
skill set,
future.
so you
All
can
right.
control your future and you can call the shots. You can go in there to the interview and negotiate the salary, the compensation that you want,
And
because
constantly improve, because you might have a skill set in 5 years that skill set is not needed. They'll let you go.
yes.
So
Yeah, because even if you know some a particular platform technology, say like Google Analytics, every
Mhm.
year Google Analytics changes,
Right.
so you
Yeah.
have to keep up. It's just not even an option anymore.
Yeah. 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 All right. Next one, software developer. So
Software development. So that's probably the most common and like in terms of been around, right? So these are the programmers, the true programmers. They know code and they can
yeah,
translate uh, manager's idea or somebody's idea into code that then creates a software application that uses
is
it.
used,
Yeah,
that gets used. You
exactly.
know, and so it's like in the Apple story, it's Steve Jobs' friend.
Yeah, right. Wozniacki.
Wozniacki. Yeah, yeah. He was
Right,
the
he was
hardcore
the
person.
programmer, and
He was the programmer.
yeah,
He
even in the Zuckerberg story, I mean, he was a programmer, but of course now he doesn't write any code, but he understood the technology. He knew what it was about, and he
Yeah,
created that first instance of Facebook in his dorm room, right? He was
yeah.
able to program this little web page where people would vote on females'
Faces.
appearance and stuff.
Yeah, remember that story? Like, you know, Animal Farm type thing.
Right,
It
exactly.
was terrible. It was a terrible, but
That's how most of these
it
sites
was a
got started.
simplistic.
Even
Yeah, it was a simplistic creation
yeah, yeah.
that
Y-
exploded into a $1 billion company, guys.
Right, because even Amazon story, Jeff Bezos, he had this idea to sell books online, and people like, nobody's gonna buy that. That's ridiculous.
Here we are.
Here we are.
But he modified though, because
I know.
Amazon is
All
now
the time, all
Amazon
constantly.
Amazon is wealthy not because of the books it sells,
No.
and it's not even wealthy because of the addiction of consumption that people are
Nope.
buying. It's the cloud.
Is
They own the cloud.
and you know what? They
That's
own the
where their
cloud
stock
before
is.
anybody knew what the cloud was.
They own the cloud before anybody knew what the cloud
Because
was.
Amazon have their research department. They were working on the cloud and they developed the cloud and they sold their cloud services to the government and to everybody else. And then Microsoft and all the others were like, wait, what's
What
going
is
on?
this? What's going on? All right, well, but before we move on to computer network architect, what can we just make sure we understand what the cloud is? The cloud is not something in the sky. The cloud is a series of large computers. Imagine going out into the country and you just see a whole bunch of buildings with computers inside of them storing up information.
Right.
They have tons of those. So you know how you save your you see how you guys save your pictures on your phone, and but then all of a sudden your phone is constantly telling you you run out of space. So what do? You put it in the
In the
cloud,
cloud.
It's not
Yeah,
going up in the sky. It's saved in another computer.
exactly.
But they own massive amounts of these buildings with massive amounts of computers with massive amounts of properties all
Right.
over this
And so
world.
it's not just about the storage space, that's one aspect, is about the computing power,
Yeah,
right? All of these technologies have to be run by computing powers, by processors and other stuff. And so you have the choice of putting these massive computers in a room somewhere, buying them and putting them in the room, or alternatively, you could rent some of that computing power from Amazon
from
in the cloud.
Amazon. Yeah,
And so, because that's the direction everybody's going in, it's a lot. There are a lot of advantages. Of course, it's customizable. So you could rent only what you need, when you need
right.
it, for how long you need it, and so yeah,
Yeah, and
it's the
how
way to
imagine
go.
everybody doing that.
Yeah,
Every
exactly.
company doing that in the world.
In fact, I
And
think
Amazon
cloud
has the
science is one
architecture.
of the ups. Is that one of the
No, it's not. It's
It's
not
not.
one. Mm-mm, it's not.
Surprisingly. I think
Unless
it's kind of in
what's a
it's
computer network architect? Is that the same thing?
yes. So now it is, right? So the network architect used to be about, how all the computers are connected together and how they work together and all that kind of stuff. But nowadays you can't, there's no connecting without the cloud. So
Yeah,
it kind of goes hand in hand. So most computer network architects are also cloud architect, right?
cloud
Because
architects.
that's part of the design of every company now. And you have the option of terms of how much cloud, you how much of the cloud you want, right? So you can have, your full control and you have some of it in the cloud, or you can do half, or you can rent
Hmm.
some, or, these are all options. And so that's what the architects work out for you, which is the best way to configure it. And then, of course, they're involved in converting your local system to the cloud. So as your company grows or your dependence resources grows, you want to transfer your all of your computer work into the cloud, and that has to be done by someone who knows what they're doing.
Right. And our institutions, our schools, our churches, are we even considering even those things?
That's
You
you
know?
see, there's another places where people are going to get caught off guard,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we're stuck in
We stuck, right? Because I remember a few years ago, um, when I think it was Obamacare, when part of the requirement was that all the hospitals had to have their system.
electronic medical records.
Yes,
Mhm.
and there was some deadline, and a lot of the hospitals didn't meet it. So in a rush to meet that, they did sh- poor work in terms of
Mhm.
making it electronic.
Mercy.
And what that did, it created a security nightmare.
Yeah.
And so now
Yeah.
a lot of people, which is another job that is going to be a huge
Talk
thing,
about, yeah. Mhm.
security, right? Because
Mhm.
there is the whole industry built up on these people who break in, hack into hospital networks,
Mhm.
hold the hospital network hostage, demand millions of dollars to
Mhm.
release patient data and access to all of the computerized
Mhm.
technology that the hospital is running on. And the
Mhm.
hospitals have no choice but to pay them the money
Mhm. As ransom.
as ransom.
Mhm.
So security software engineers is going to be huge because everybody's going to have to, make
To
their
manage this, because it's all on these
yeah.
databases.
Because
Okay.
the hospital is gone, but the churches are going to be next. The schools.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, everybody is
Yeah.
going to need a security personnel. So that would be one field definitely that people should be trying to get.
And I feel that that is something that people need to be thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, we still anyway, so we gotta be thinking like this,
Yes. Yes.
progressively. All right, so computer network architect is basically how computers managing how computers work with other computers, whether
Right. And
whether
they
in
also like
somebody's system at at an institution or at the level of the cloud.
exactly, exactly.
Okay. So what is an artificial intelligence architect? They make about $112,000 a year, and that thing just started.
Right. And so that's all about using so artificial intelligence, let me put on my professor hat, is enabling computers to think and perform like humans in specific categories, right? Because
Yeah.
computers are nowhere near humans, right? But it's searching, like understanding data and processing the data and generating algorithms and models. Those are the areas where artificial intelligence is working on getting these machines to be able to perform specific tasks that were previously relegated to humans.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole idea of the systems like your Alexa that can understand you and talk back to you and all that kind of stuff, that's artificial intelligence. But it's not just limited to that. I mean, artificial intelligence is almost everywhere now because, like, your refrigerator and your washing machine are all
Smart.
smart technology, right? That's
Yeah.
because artificial intelligence is built into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can actually turn on your washing machine remotely now, right?
Listen, I can turn on my thermostat remotely.
Yes,
I
yeah.
got. I
I
got.
mean, then we can lock our doors. We can
Yeah.
see what's going on with the cameras. Almost everything now has an artificial intelligence component in it.
And an
And
architect is somebody who builds that. That's what
exactly,
I'm assuming.
exactly.
And so you have to be visual about like you have to really understand humanity well,
Well,
and then
the fundamental technology involved here is machine learning, and machine learning is about programming the computers, or the computers programming themselves based on
based on data.
data. It's all
Yeah.
about data. You collect
Yeah.
the data about the systems and you use that to build a generalization, a model that will represent, okay, oh, I see, this is it, turn it on and this is off. And if it's raining, then this. And if the water is coming too fast, you slow it down here. So it's like
And over
collecting.
time, they're collecting all this information.
Yes, and creating a pattern, as we say, it's like basic um statistics, but
Yeah.
now it's all generated by the software, the computation, the processing powers of these computers are so, like, crazy. But yeah, just like you would take the housing data and you could generate a model of what you might think a house price maybe. So if you know how many windows and the square footage and where it's located and how many levels and what year it's built, you can put that into a formula and make a prediction about the price. That's machine learning at the basic level.
Yeah, and it's so important that a lot of people take involved in it, because then the data will be skewed to the demographic that the majority of data is found.
Big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have people like Dr. Joy Bolwani. I think I butchered her name, but a black female artificial intelligence scientist who is now advocating for reform in these artificial intelligence systems that are extremely biased. I mean, I can give so many examples of it, but especially against people of color, right? Because you asked the generative AI what is a scientist, and they'll show you a white male. But if you ask, I
What's a
don't know,
rapper?
whatever, yeah. So it's very biased, and that's because the data that was used to train the model is biased.
Right. But you know how to fight that? Because you know what people like to do when they hear bias. They like to protest in the streets. But you know the best thing to do to fight that is to become an artificial intelligence
Exactly.
architect
Be in the room when
and
they're developing these models.
be
Be
in the
there.
room. But in order to be in the room, you got to develop the skill
You
set.
have to develop the skills.
In order to be in the room, you got to develop the skill set.
Yes.
and you could do it for free, as Dr. Yono kept
For the
saying.
free.
So don't tell me
Remember that
anything about, oh, I
famous
don't want to pay
that
for
TikTok
school.
with the guy? He made fun of the Karens and he said, "You can't get in for the free." Well, you can get in here for the free.
You could get in here for the free. You could get in here for the free. Listen, listen. The best way to fight is to bias is to learn it and train it yourself in so that it has other types of perspectives.
Yeah, because
All
you know
right.
my nephew, he's not little anymore, but he always used he had this meme that he used to love. Every time I ask him to do something, he would be like, "Modern problems require modern solutions, Auntie."
Ah, there you go. Brilliant. Brilliant. That's the truth right there.
Uh,
Information security analyst.
well,
Information security
so
analyst.
that's similar to the software again coming back, but to the security, right? That's something where we were talking about building systems that are secure, that are unhackable, that you put all the things in place, and now it's all about the blockchain and other types of security. And it's not just for the institutions or the hospital, but for your home. If our home becomes computerized, the people who know how to hack in can break into your house. So,
Yeah, gotta be safe.
right. So you
Gotta be
thinking,
careful.
when I hear people, especially like the gun rights people and others who say, they keep a gun to protect them. Are you serious? That's not going to help you when your home has been hacked by some hacker and they are controlling all of the heat or the light or the electricity in your house.
Wow.
You can't shoot your way out of that.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, that's that. You can't shoot your way out of that. So, information security analyst is about protecting
Yeah,
information because we're in the information age.
we have
It's
been
all
for
about data. It's all about data, and how are you preparing for the jobs of today?
right.
That are
And the
very
more
lucrative.
our systems become automated and computerized, the more data is being generated.
That's right. The more data is and the more data needed to protect.
Right. And so,
Hmm.
so companies are wanting to leverage that data to find ways to take your money.
That's right.
I didn't know how else to say it, but
Yep.
that's the bottom line.
Absolutely.
So we either have to be involved in the use and manipulation and generation of the data, or we have our own systems to use the data for ourselves and develop our own applications and our own systems, right?
To
Who's
create our own wealth.
exactly, because we can take information security analyst course and develop a system that can provide security for whomever needs it, and say, yeah, this is the software I developed, this is my startup, and here we go. And listen, trust and believe. There are venture capitalists and others who will sponsor you,
Listen, we
because
are sitting on Restream and StreamYard. These a bunch of 20-year-olds
yeah,
created the ability to
this
stream
this app,
to
this soft, yeah,
to stream to multiple social media platforms.
yeah,
And it happened right before COVID, and it exploded
exploded.
because some 20-year-olds in their garage decided to build something like this.
Yeah, yeah, they had the foresight, and then fortunately for them,
The skill
the
set.
turn in the economy created a perfect opportunity. So the onus is on us now to start creating things, and then keep our eyes and ears open
Right.
for the opportunity that's gonna cause it to explode.
That's how wealth is built.
That's
And that's
exactly
how
how.
technology is used as a means to build wealth.
Yeah, because we no longer going to
Period.
be digging for physical oil. No, in fact, the industry, they now say data is the new oil.
Data is the new oil.
So
Data is the new oil.
he or she who can develop the proverbial drill, the bucket, the axe, whatever it is, to mine and harness the data, they're the ones that are going to get wealthy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mobile app developer. What's a mobile app developer?
Yeah, so
These apps on my phone.
yes, all these apps on your phone. I mean, the hundreds of apps in the App Store, thousands now, are developed by mobile app developers, right? Some of them actually work for companies, others, they work for themselves and they develop the app and they sell it to a company. Or you can develop your app and put it on the platform and put it for 20 cents, right? 100 people buy that, 1,000, it takes off, and before you know it, everybody's using your app.
You were talking about you could develop an app using artificial intelligence like Chat GPT or something like that.
Yes, 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 yes. I developed an app, more than one, right? I developed an app because I had the data, which is healthcare data. That's part of my research. And I also know the technology. But what I was trying to show people how easy it was. You can go to ChatGPT and say, "Here's my data, and here's what I'm trying to do with it," and you put it in, it gives you an algorithm. Then you say, okay, I'd like to launch this algorithm onto the internet. It gives you all of the code you need for that. You take it, you launch it. You say, I would like to turn this into an application. It gives you the code for that. You take it, you do it. I did that in like 5 minutes.
Oh my
The
God, you
video
gotta
is on
teach me.
LinkedIn.
I know it. You gotta teach me. 'Cause I tried a little bit and then I tried to take it over and it didn't
Yes, so
compute
that's
something.
yes, I agree. So again, full disclosure, I didn't show everything, right? So these models are probabilistic, they're not deterministic. So every time you use it, it's going to give you a different response, and that's a little tricky when it comes to programming. But it
I
requires
didn't do
some.
yours. I didn't do yours. I was trying to do something about with me, but
I know, but so
yeah,
that's what happens with everyone, even with me, right? So if you are trying to develop code, so how you put input the data is going to determine the output. So
yeah,
prompting and communicating with the model is huge,
it's
and that's what
cool.
I teach: prompt engineering, how to talk to models so that they can give you what you want,
What you want?
because it's not a straightforward thing, right? You have to know what to say and how to say it and when to say it and how to to tweak and twist and what to turn on and off and how to enable the model, because
Yeah,
I speak models.
yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Right, but no, I put the video on there because that was an advertising for a course that I was offering,
Hmm.
and that was free. It was free, and none of us showed up, but it's all good.
Oh man, we got to work
uh,
on that. We got to work on that.
but I wanted people to know of what the possibilities were when it
Yeah,
comes to generative AI, right? You don't have an excuse anymore, because even like some of these software developer and all of that, now with generative AI, you can circumvent all of that for as far as developing your software applications. And I mean, it's like, it's crazy, Dr. Maya. It is literally crazy. If I show you the things you can do with these models, like you can say, write me a business plan to generate $100,000 in 6 months.
I'm gonna do that. Matter of fact, like as soon as I get
Oh,
off,
look
I'm
at
gonna
that
do
Tony right there.
that.
Right, and you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that because people are using it for stuff like I don't know, a rap
Cheating
song,
on
or
tests. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Listen, listen. It's time to really, really
But the models have
build.
been trained on massive, I'm talking petabytes of data on the
Yeah,
internet, right?
yeah, yeah.
So all of that information is in the model. Now, the thing is, you have to realize the model is trained on data. So some of it is makes sense, some of it is garbage, and
Yeah,
the whole gamut. So
yeah.
you have to know how to structure your request to the model such that you eliminate the
The
garbage and
garbage.
allow it to hone
Right.
in on what is valuable. Because trust me, there are people doing it right now and making hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Come on, y'all. Let's join the party.
Okay.
Last two. Last two. Data scientist. What's a data scientist? So there's a data scientist and there's a computer information research scientist. How are they different? I'm thinking the computer information scientist is about developing science, computer science programs, while data scientist is studying statistics of the data out there.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. And that's exactly machine learning is statistics on steroids.
Mm,
So my PhD was in statistics. I leveraged that into a machine learning career and then eventually data scientist. So the machine learning engineer are the ones who take the data and use it to train the models to generate the algorithms, the artificial intelligence algorithms. As a data scientist, you have a more strategic approach into the scientific methodology where you have the phenomenon in question, you develop hypothesis, you test the hypothesis, you interpret the results, then you use that interpretation for further research to advance the field of machine learning, and data science in general. Just how well are we using the data to translate that into these models that are now running our lives.
yeah.
And like for me, the thing about with the whole bias in the data, speaking to
Yeah.
that and
That's
helping people
important.
to understand that the data should be representative and the different sampling methods, and if the data is not representative, then the results of that data is
It's
not
biased.
representative.
Yes.
So those
Critical.
are
That's
some of the.
and I'm glad you're in the room to say these things. I'm glad
Yes,
you're in the room to
yes,
say
yes,
these
yes.
things. And we need
Right?
more.
I need more help though.
We need more.
I need more of us. I need more of us. I need more of us.
Need
I
more
can't
of us.
say that
Join the
enough.
party. Join the party, y'all. Last one. Full stack web developer. What's a full stack?
So full stack is easy, right? Because when it comes to web developing, there's back end and front end. Back end is all of the hardware and the programs, the architect. Front end is the application that you see, the
See
user
beauty,
interface.
the beauty interface. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Full stack does.
All of it. Ah, you taught me
That's a fancy
something.
name.
It's what you see in the front, and it's what
Yeah.
working on at the back. And
And so,
you,
because companies are stingy and they don't want to pay a back end engineer and a front end engineer, they're now demanding for full stack engineers who can do everything.
gotta get the skill set, guys.
Yes,
This is what it's about. The
absolutely.
conversation tonight was the future and the present. A lot of it is tech. You gotta get the skill set, and you gotta evolve your skill set all the time
And
because
I
there's
want to,
new
and
things
who's
that
everyone's
replace.
listening, I'm on my TikTok channel. I'm featuring all of the free courses one by one. I'm giving my professional evaluation of the courses, all the free ones, so that you can then make a decision about which one is best for you. So I'm going to do Coursera, I'm do AWS, Microsoft, all whoever has free course, I'm going to value. I'm actually, sometimes I take the courses just so I can see the value in it, possible pain points, the advantages and disadvantages, but because I don't know what else to do to get people to take these courses.
Listen, you're on TikTok. Where can they find you
Oh,
to?
okay. What's my TikTok? Dr. Data, I think it is.
I think it's Dr. Data. Dr. Data on TikTok.
Yeah, so I've started a series where I'm going to be giving evaluations of all of these different free free software, and then people can decide which one they're going to do. And I have a plan to I can't even find my TikTok right now. My computer is asking me to log in. Apparently, I logged out, but
I can go to your
yeah.
TikTok, even though
Yeah, my goal is to actually start a live, like a TikTok live, where I do the course and people come in and they log on and we all do it together.
Mm,
So if they have questions, if they have concerns, if they have some issues, we all do it together. We go through the training, the videos, the exercises, and then we complete it and we get our certificate. Come on, people.
Come on, people. Come on, people. It's actually Data Doctor.
Yes, data doctor Hunter.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, people. Listen, I'm, I'm a, I'm a join.
Yeah, because I really want to, people talk democratizing, and I feel like it's one thing to, so it's data underscore doctor. That's it.
Mhm.
I feel like we're saying, okay, yeah, it's democratizing, but if you don't meet people where they are, is that really democratizing?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So, the Pastor Phipps used to say, what did he used to say? He has a quotation. He says that true, something like, um, access is not, equal access is not the same if there isn't equal preparation to the access, or so equal
yeah.
opportunity is not the same unless if there's equal I forgot. You know what I'm
I
saying?
totally understand what he's saying because a lot of the times they'll be like, okay, we're going to get rid of affirmative action, but we're
Right.
going to allow, if you're low income, you go to Harvard for free,
Mm.
right? And I'm like, how many people low income
Is already
can
to thrive
have the ability to read?
right.
They have issues with reading. They have, and not to say that there aren't, but there's way more opportunities for the middle class African American to
Yes.
be more prepared for Harvard. But you block all of them,
Yeah.
and then you find the minute, if the very few. And I'm not saying low income is not Harvard.
Yeah. But the unprepared,
It's
let's just say that.
most of the
And they go
times
there and they struggle.
most of the times they literally, because of what the ramifications of living from a low income place,
Right.
so it's like it's a way to stop it, to me it's
Yeah,
a
of
way
course,
to
because
stop.
then they say, well, see, we gave them a chance and they couldn't
Right.
cut it. So,
Yes.
but
Exactly.
they were ill prepared. They were poorly prepared for the rigors of that level of
Right.
academia. And
Right.
so that is not fair. That's not equal,
Yes,
So,
not equal.
and so that's why I am all about going and
Preparing.
meeting people where they are. Okay,
Yeah.
you say, I don't know, if you don't understand, or you don't have the time, or you don't, whatever the excuses, right? Because y'all be spending hours on TikTok. I be seeing y'all.
Y'all on TikTok. Y'all on Instagram scrolling.
Yes.
Scrolling. Y'all on
So
YouTube
let's take
watching.
15 minutes, 20 minutes and upskill.
Let's upskill. Let's upskill.
Yep.
Yep. That's a good closing argument. I am the phenomenal STEMist, and definitely so is she. So is she. Good night, everybody. Thanks for staying out and watching, and
You need to
hopefully
get
this is helpful.
some Z's. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm a little under the weather.
Yeah.
I'm a little
But
under the weather,
that's
but
the commitment, the dedication of Dr.
absolutely, absolutely. Listen,
But you
I
inspire
made a
all of us,
promise.
including myself. So it makes me step my game up. Trust me,
Yeah,
when I see
yeah.
what you're doing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Brandon was like, what name dropping? What was name drop? I don't remember. Anyway, thanks, Deslin. Thanks,
Brandon, I was
Brandon.
trying to make a joke the last time and say, let's go, Brandon, but he didn't catch my joke.
Yo. Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night. See y'all next Monday. Take care.
Not
What's
next
on
Monday.
Monday?
The third month.
What's the topic?
No,
Oh,
no, no, no. Only the not next Monday, but next month.
I see. Okay, got
So
you.
yeah, so last week
Right.
we had
Real estate.
health
Oh,
and
health.
wealth, Ken. And the
Understand?
week before I had Brandon.
Right, right, right,
In
right.
real
Okay.
estate. So next week I'm gonna have Delani, and we're gonna talk about wealth management in some
Got it.
sort of way.
Okay. Okay.
And then we're gonna start over again, back to real
Right.
estate, back to health, and then you again. So
Yeah.
third Third Monday.
All
Third
right.
Monday.
See y'all. Take
All
care.
right.
Thanks. Bye bye. Check out the TikTok. Leave a comment if you want more material. I'll oblige.